And good evening, everybody. A very, very warm hug from a beautiful place that I'm sitting in. And I have decided that today I must do the webinar from this very, very beautiful place I've come to visit. So, because it's a place of about the mind, the peace, the energy, the greenery, so I thought I must do the webinar from there. And of course, I've got little Pan and his mama with me. So this time I left my little puppets at home, but I have Pan and mama with me. And Pan is sitting and listening to a story in which mama is describing a beautiful forest. So one day he wakes up and says, Mama, can you take me to a place beautiful and green? It has to be the most beautiful place I have ever seen. So what does mama do? She takes Pan for a beautiful outing. She takes Pan to a place that's green, that is safe, that's clean, and Pan is so happy to just walk and with mama to think and talk. So just to explain about minds, visualization, the power of what the mind can do for children and the power of what you give the children in their mindsets. We have another very young, very beautiful talent, Meenal with us. A very warm welcome, Meenal, to you.
Hello, thank you, ma'am.
Meenal, we as this the Square Panda Sundays and then Thursdays progressed, the one thing we kept looking and keep looking for are people who will come to build a community with us. And the second time that we've started these webinars have been very consciously to search for young talent. So while we have left some footprints, we would really enjoy you taking those footprints forward. So to begin with, just talk to us about a mindset. What would you say are mindsets for us to learn about?
Yeah, right now you have given a wonderful description, and when you were describing it, literally I was imagining, right? I was in that world, what you were saying, that garden, butterflies, flowers. So, this is the beauty of our mind. If you talk about humans, before talking about mindfulness, we are provided with a wonderful supercomputer, which we call brain. But there is a basic difference between brain and mind. And when we talk about mindfulness, it is completely related to mind, nothing related to brain. A brain is a tangible product, right? You can touch it, you can feel it. But mind is something which you can just visualize, which you can just feel in your heart, which you can just imagine. So yes, you want to say that?
I first of all never imagined it like this. And I want you to speak up a little, Meenal, a little louder so that we can hear you a little more clearly.
Okay. Am I not audible properly,
You
ma'am?
are audible, just a little more audible.
Okay, so when I'm talking about mindfulness, it is completely about being present at the moment. Okay, secondly, it is understanding your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your sense organs, and others. What basically our education system is missing is the mindful mindset. As a teacher, as a parent, we deal with the children from the age of 1 year till 7, 16, and once they are out from this education or basically from the schooling, they face the outside world. And this is how, in the span of 15 years, Sonia ji, it's our utmost duty to make them mindful. Correct? We need to work on their creativity, their curiosity. We have to teach them how to imagine, right? How to visualize.
Yes. So, Meenal, I'll tell you something very interesting. Because in the last few days, the whole thing has become digital. Earlier, we used to keep the screens away from the children, and now the whole story has changed.
Yes.
We have so many parents telling us we need more animation, more animation, more animation. And my thought to tell them is that animation is good. There is no bad
Yes.
animation, but Where does the imagination happen if there is a animation all the time? So can you allow the child to actually visualize without any aid around? So what do we do for that? That's a question which I thought I must ask you. What can parents and teachers do to create this circle of creating a mindset for the children? What should their attitudes be? Let's start with that.
Yeah. First of all, the most important thing, a mother is the teacher, first teacher of the child, right? When you see the child of 6 months, 7 months, okay, they are completely exploring the outside world through the sense organ. They laugh, they giggle, they understand what is happening around them. Okay, so this is called the sensory state. This is called the sensory stage where they are completely into the outside world and in connect with only their sense organs. So ma'am, when you asked about the creativity, I told you that we already have a very huge supercomputer here, not in size. Okay, when I'm talking in terms of huge, whatever you want. If you talk about the computer where we are having the webinar, it was first visualized here and then it turned up to physically in front of us. If you're talking about the aeroplanes, the building, all the 3D world which we are seeing, it was here first. So that time they did not had any cartoon imagine, this what you said, like
Animation.
animations and Walt Disney, these all people, when they imagined about Mickey Mouse and everything, it all popped up from here. So how it can be popped up here? Now parents and teachers must be thinking, how is it possible? But it is very true. If you ask a child to sit calmly at a position, just let them close their eyes, give them a good healing music. When you see a child, man, you have a huge experience of 20 years teaching them. They are in their world, okay? When they are playing, they are not bothered what is happening. It we as a parent force them. Now it's a high time. Come on, let's go for sleeping. Now it's a high time. Come on, it's time to eat. But otherwise, they are busy in their play. When you talk about Montessori or any IB curriculum, when they already emphasizes that this age should be treated only in the playway based method. And why playway based method? Because it enhances their imagination, it enhances the power of visualization. So let them be in that present moment. If they are playing with water, if they are playing with sand, if they are spoiling your refrigerator, if they are doing designing on your walls, please let them do. This is how their creativity will be enhanced. We are bothered about the paint, we are bothered about our walls, we are worried that they are spoiling our kitchen, our laundries. But this is how we are stopping their curiosity and creativity and imagination. And then we want that let us have some animated movie and let them create. No, it is not possible. Let them be closer to the nature. Let them, yes, ma'am.
Yes. So maybe I come from a slightly old school of thought, Meenal. So what I used to do, and I used to tell parents is that if the child is painting on the wall, put up a chart paper there and make it the drawing corner. If you notice that the child is wanting to wash the laundry with you, buy a chota bucket and keep it next to the child. If you feel that the child wants to explore the refrigerator, every Sunday when you switch off the refrigerator to clean, call the child with you. Say that, this is how we have to work. So what happens is, while the child is also exploring, the parent is mindful of what the child is wanting to mind. So a little bit of discipline in the sense of not curbing them, but mindfully observing them that, oh, this is what the child wants to do. I think that works very beautifully also. Like you mentioned, the Montessori. So the Montessori system is so unique because the first thing it teaches the child is self-discipline.
Yes.
So I think this whole mindfulness of the parent to observe what the child is looking for is something which all of us have to note, that please observe and don't have a. I also want to ask you this, Meenal. Many times we want the child to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
We
Ma'am,
don't
when you,
care what the child wants. We say, "Aaj ye karna hai, now this, now this." So we'll talk a little bit about that,
Yeah,
please.
but already you have introduced a wonderful word about discipline, right? But we all have this in our mindset that discipline means controlling.
Yeah.
But discipline is not controlling. When she said the word self discipline, it is about the agency, it is about the self efficacy, how much the child is aware about herself or himself. So this is only possible when the parent or the teachers are mindful. Okay, if they are with the child, they are sitting in a room, they should keep their mobiles aside and they should observe that what their kid is trying to tell them. 99%, ma'am, we are not available to our kids. This is how they are more interested in the gadgets now, because mama is also busy on the mobile, teacher is also busy in the mobile, or either now the teachers are busy on the laptops. So why the child will be interested in coming and talking to you? So first we need to become self-disciplined, and then slowly and gradually when the child will observe us that we are paying attention to them, they will become disciplined. So just stop this definite just keep this from your mind away that discipline उनको control करना या mold करना नहीं है. Discipline means to make them aware that if they have started something, they only have to finish that work. This is the true definition which I feel is about that. Otherwise, we whole day are on their head. Complete your homework, finish your lunch. Come on, now it's time to play. Right now, ma'am said we have XYZ list. We don't give them that space only. And then when we see the resistance, we come to school teachers, principal, talking to them कि अब तो हमारे हाथ से गाड़ी निकल गई.
So I also want to tell, the audience who's watching that Meena Leeds, she takes care of an IB school, and she takes care of taking care of the parents, the children, the teachers, and overall coordination of the curriculum. So I also thought at this digitime when everything is so digital, it's important to have, heads, team heads who are actually handling this entire, circular change that we have seen. It's actually almost 180 degrees from year to year that we've changed. So when we talked about mindsets, we talk about discipline, we talk about another very important thing I thought we should also talk about is on during this screen time, like we are on screen and I have 30 children. And I'm finding teachers telling me that, ma'am, children are not listening. What do you think? Just give us that one thing that you think the teachers should do to make the children want to talk.
That is the connection, ma'am. That is missing. When I see, even when I go and visit the classrooms virtually, so they unmute and they say, ma'am, we want to touch you, we want to talk to you, we want to hug you. So when we are in front of screen, just don't focus on delivering the content or the knowledge. At times pause, give them opportunity to talk to you. I don't think any management, any principal, any coordinator will stop you because right now physical connection is missing. So it is only when they are seeing you usually through talking or through music, through dance, you can connect to them. Simply have few activities where you can have a really good bond with them. Have a movie time, ask them to get their favorite breakfast, eat together, have a wonderful music, you also dance with them. At least they will have that presence that we are together. Certainly, you have to set few essential agreements also, because teachers and parents and Sonia ji will agree with me that when we are sitting here, at times we have seen parents fighting back. Bathroom is visible. Yes. So
Yes.
certain understanding and certain awareness, you as a parent, as a teacher, you have to give them this understanding. A proper cozy comfortable position should be given to the children, proper air, proper light. But it is the teacher, it is only the teacher who is sitting there needs to have a love bond with them, a bond where once you meet them after 1 year, still they should remember that she has taught me last year, and I'm missing that essence. Okay,
Yeah.
curriculum to chalta hi rahega, and it will, but just try to create that bond. Right, I told you
Yes.
we
So
had this
I think
first
like what you're
session.
saying is eye contact, a little more involvement.
Yes.
I think understanding the fact that this little child's mind, earlier you used to observe the body language, you observed if the child was stressed out. Now online you don't get that kind of time. So I think the mindset observations have to be very, very precise.
Yes. I can give you, you can have pajama party. We had breakfast time. We asked them one day to sit with their pets. Ma'am, I'm telling you, they were so happy. They all brought their pets. Somebody brought tortoise, turtle, cats, dogs, birds, and whole 40 minutes they were just talking, giggling, laughing. What is your pet's name? This. One day we asked them to bring their siblings, so this
Yeah.
is how they were connecting the precious bond with the teachers. They were
The
so happy.
teachers.
And when I also entered, they say, ma'am, that day I brought my pet, will you come back to see? I said, yes, yes, I will
Yeah.
come.
So I think this year, this is the change I'm seeing. The first year, everybody was very busy with the curriculum. Syllabus khatam karna hai, assessments karne hai. This year, I'm consciously seeing a lot of schools, a lot of parents, teachers actually reaching out to children, to understand. Also, a lot of interaction between, another thing, Minal, which we were just talking about before one was to have an IQ test, check karo, bacha theek thaak hai ki nahi. And then emotional test. Now you used a very nice, thing called the CQ.
Yes.
I want a little bit of, because I'm also going to make my notes on CQ. See, IQ we talk about, EQ we talk about, but CQ is what Meenal is going to help us to, just understand now.
But quickly, I would like to brief about IQ and EQ also. Okay.
Yes, please,
IQ is
please.
intelligent quotient, because maximum of us are only bothered about that. If my child is not able to just write one sentence properly with punctuations, immediately we ask the teachers, and then teachers and principals recommend, ले जाओ इसको किसी psychologist के पास या IQ test करवा लो. Okay, don't do that. It 15%. Harvard had a research in 2014, and they came up with this data after with this conclusion that only 15% IQ is important for a human being. 85% is emotional intelligence. Okay, how we are dealing with others, how much empathy we are showing, curiosity we are showing, how much compassion we have, right? Sympathy, how much honesty, integrity, appreciation. These all things are very much important in the human life. It is the journey about human being to being human. We all are humans, but we need to come to the being human state. Being human means insaniyat. You are from Delhi. Once you move out on the roads of Delhi, ma'am, you can surely, I'm sure you can tell the difference between human being and being human. Correct.
Anywhere in the world, I would say anywhere. And Meenal, it's very interesting. I used to travel a lot. Of course, with the lockdown, everything has changed. But I used to travel something like 115, 120, sometimes even 130 days a year. And goodness is everywhere. Sometimes we go to a state with a mindset that yahan to mushkil hogi.
No, no, no. I agree with
This
you.
will just surprise you. I remember this one visit I'd gone to, absolutely deep Haryana. And I just went out for a walk in the evening, and I went a little far off from my hotel. And I somehow could not, and it became a little sort of dark. And I remember, there was this old lady sitting there. She sent her boys with me, and she said, Madam ko hotel tak chhod kar aana.
Oh, so sweet.
Gave me the phone number saying, मैडम आप जब होटल पहुंचे तो मुझे फोन करके बताइए कि आप ठीक ठाक मेरे बच्चों ने पहुंचाया है कि नहीं. So mindsets, I think what you're talking about is a very strong power of what we we tell,
Perception.
yeah,
Perception.
we all perception. So many times we give our children perceptions which actually may not be correct at all.
School, ma'am, we are doing this only. The teacher tries to force her perception to the students, to the children. And even I would like to share, when I said Delhi, I have been to Delhi, and trust me, it's an amazing place. I have traveled a lot alone. People used to call me from Indra, are you safe? I said, it's a wonderful place.
Yes,
Don't even ask me
yes,
this question.
yes.
I'm absolutely safe. I have traveled
Yeah.
to 10, 11.
Yes,
So
yes. So it's, I think mindset. I think also another thing which I thought that we should talk about is You know,
Let me complete about curiosity
yeah,
question.
yeah. So your curiosity quotient has to be completed now.
Yeah. So when I talk about curiosity question, so why it is really, really important, like being from the age of 0 to 7, by default only we are curious. You see a child, completely he is a or she is a born scientist. सब कुछ उथल पुथल कर देते हैं घर को, correct? But it is we who stop that curiosity. So when I'm talking, they are naturally curious. I would like to share here one quote from Einstein. He wonderfully explained that I have no special talents. I'm only passionately curious.
Oh,
Okay. So let them explore, let them inquire. When you enter the class, ma'am, you would have experienced this. Ma'am, what about this eyes? What about this nose? Why classes like that? What about moon? What about sun? What about stars? Ma'am, she's pushing me, she's tickling me, she's teasing me. Whole day full of questions. But when we talk about the structured classroom, the teacher stops the curiosity. Okay, come on, stop, children. Now we are going to learn this. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Let them come up with the questions. They will come hundred of questions with you. I can give one example right now only. When I was coming live, I told Sonia ma'am that you're so experienced and I'm getting a little bit nervous. So she's made me so comfortable. She made me curious about this webinar. That Meenal, whatever you want to say, you just go and share your experience. So now I'm comfortable and I'm feeling that yes, it's my family. So give this compassion, this warmth in the classroom and see wonderfully they will come up with all the questions, all sort of inquiry. Don't stop that inquiry and curiosity in the classroom. Whatever silly questions also they ask now, please encourage them to ask those questions. Even if you don't have answers, there is no need to answer all the questions. At least listen to those questions and write it on the board with that child's name so that they will feel special that ma'am has considered my questions. When I was small, I have seen this teacher used to say, "हाँ ये तो फालतू का question है." Please don't do that. The child has that. He was the risk taker. You know, when we talk about risk taking in real life, for a child of 4 or 5 years, when
yeah.
he's
To ask a question, yes.
question is risk taking. Let them ask you that question. And once you say no, that don't ask, please stop immediately. You're stopping that mind to think curiously. So curiosity quotient is very much important. And this is how Einstein and Newton has given us theory of relativity and Newton's law. And we all are studying that. And you all know that they have never been to school and still they were curious and they have given these theories which we are studying. So let them work on the unknown. Right now also there are so many things unknown in the universe. Let them explore with that curiosity.
You know, another thing that you told me very nicely was a fantasy child.
Yes.
You create this absolutely perfect being, and then just talk a little about it.
Yeah, it is something about conscious parenting, ma'am. Whenever we are ready for a child, the parent are all they have that imagination. When we started only this session, they have a particular sort of mindset that once my child is in my hand, this color, such type of nose, she will be an engineer or a doctor, or I want to become an actor and it was not done by me, so now she is going to do that, or he is going. So certain sort of expectations we already have in our mind. So before the little one comes outside, a fantasy has been created by the parents, and this is how I named it as a fantasy child. And when they are out and they hardly come up to on our expectations, yahan se shuru hota hai that resistance, that conflict between the parent and the child, and then everything is just stopped. You said na कि list ready रहती है अब ये करना है. Everything is guided by the teachers and the parents. Everyone is obsessed just with the grades, results. Like nowadays even.
Meenal, I want to ask you this question. As a coordinator and as a head, do you what are the kind of questions that come to you about the children? Are they what are the main concerns? If you can just kind of talk to us about that. What are the main top concerns of the parents when they talk to you?
First thing, we have a grading pattern, okay? So we give the reflection either through anecdotes, rubrics, checklist. But when they come, they will always ask one question. Ma'am, आप तो ये बता दो first है, second है या third है? Where the world is heading, please, like, I am always trying to make them understand that your child is unique. They are gifted. Please let them come up. Whatever they want, let them do. But still, in the end, they will ask one question only, ma'am. Where do they stand in the class? How are their problem solving skills? Are they good communicator? Can they speak in English? So it's just a language. Okay, you cannot assess anyone's intelligence through the language knowledge.
So,
Even the
do you talk to, if we have to make parents and teachers aware that what we need to talk about is mindsets, what is it that you would, maybe explain about different stages of growth to them? Or
yeah.
is it that, if you can just tell the teachers that maybe help them to interact with the parents on those age groups, on those levels of learning, understanding of the children. Because when you have to talk about mindsets, you also have to know the different levels that the children are at. So if you could just share that.
There are basically four pillars of healthy mindset. Okay, the first is awareness. Okay, when I say awareness, you should always guide yourself, and you should throw these questions in the classroom also. That what are you doing right now? Where is your mind right now? And at this very moment, how happy or unhappy you are. Okay, because maximum time, ma'am, when we are in the classroom, the teacher and the child, they are not, they are physically present, mentally they are somewhere else. So again and again asking these questions, and we have somewhere felt this also while teaching. At times we ask, come on, X, are you present here? Because when they are with us mentally, they are somewhere else. So for mindfulness mindset, it is very much important that physically and mentally we have to be present here. This is called first pillar, that is awareness. Okay, second comes is to the connection, which I already shared it with you. You all first motive in, keep your curriculum aside. Okay, first and foremost thing, whether it's virtual or physical classroom, the connection with each and every child has to be created, irrespective they get good grades, they are a good communicator. When we talk about multiple intelligence, every child is unique. Okay, so as a teacher, as a parent, it's your responsibility to find out what your child likes, and this can only be achieved through that connection. Clear? Third comes insight. Why insight? It is very important because everybody has a belief system. Okay, the culture at home, the upbringing. As a teacher, we have to understand the mindset and the belief system of each and every child. This is how the child is behaving in the classroom, because this is the atmosphere or the environment of the home. So much careful and so much strong connection you have to create with the child, that once you talk to them, you will understand automatically, अच्छा इसका ये belief system है, ये इसकी cultural values है, इसलिए बच्चा ऐसा behave कर रहा है.
Yeah, I think that's something which I think many of us, we miss out on.
Yes.
There's an insight of what the parental home mindsets have been set in.
Yes, and I can share here one example. When I meet parents in PTMs and everything, they simply come and they tell me few incidences my child behaved in this manner in a party or like that. And to be very honest, by the grace of God, I don't know. Even I have shown them that, see, ma'am, this is the way you're behaving. So this behavior is definitely reflected in your child. You know,
I
this.
remember I used to tell a lot of parents that, don't complain about the child, because the child is learning from the environment we are creating for the child. So if you are respectful towards each other, that's what the child is going to observe. If you are not going to, even a small thing, how you talk to people around you.
Yes, how you treat your helpers.
Help, yes, it's so important. And okay, so we have the awareness, we have the connection,
Insight. And the
insight,
fourth
and
one is purpose.
a purpose. Yes.
Yes, we as see, we all are working, that is for our survival needs. But we all are here on the planet for some or the other purpose. as a teacher, as a parent, as a child, each one of us has a purpose. This journey about human life is to find out that purpose only. So when you're in the classroom, just give them this atmosphere, this environment where they can think mindfully. That what they don't ask the kids ki engineer banoge ki doctor banoge. Ask them when you will grow up, what you will contribute to the society. Okay, just we need to change our thought process. The questions which we ask to our kids, we should ask them what they are. Parents, they don't read. Teachers, they don't read, and they expect that the child should read. Right? Isn't it true, ma'am?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So
So
a lot of
what?
parents will ask me, give us a way to make the children read. So the deal is that you should be reading to your children even before they can read, so
Yeah.
that they develop this love for books. So setting mindsets in the sense of the way children grow up, the way that even these days, Raminal, I thought mindfully setting a routine for the child. This whole year, just maybe a very, very difficult year for the parents and children. So if we are all mindful that this year is it's a very important year. The first year was 7-8 months they went by, but this whole year, if the children don't come to schools, imagine the kind of repercussions we are going to see.
Yes.
Last year, honestly, I was worried, I was concerned, but I was not as concerned as I'm feeling this year. Because I'm just feeling that, just imagine, what is the child going to miss out on? So perhaps this what Milan was saying is, creating a pattern. And another thing I thought you can talk about, Milan, is how can the teachers watching and how can the parents watch create a conscious mindfulness, conscious parenting, conscious environment. I thought we just described the stages a little bit, if you can.
Yes, yes, ma'am, definitely. So the first stage was, I told you, sensory motor, right? Where, of course, it is about 18 to 24 months. So this every one of us has already crossed. Now we are talking about the early years. So here it comes about pre-operational. All of you must be knowing about pre-operational stage also. It starts from 0 to 7. Here comes the symbolic understanding. They start understanding the outside world through symbols. If you said a glass, they will imagine this. If you said a mobile, they will just imagine, okay, this is how it's a mobile. If you talk about the alphabets, digits, numbers, swar, vyanjan, this is the stage where they understand the outside world through symbols and signs. As much as you can talk to them, you can show them, you can discuss with them. Here you can talk about the picture books also, because they will have that idea. Okay, if I'm talking about a pen, it looks like that, it has an image like that. If I'm talking about, because this is how we have that perception about everything outside the world. If I say God, we feel he is in the shape of a human body. Correct.
Yeah, so just giving them a lot of visualization, giving them a lot of chatting, talking, a lot of books, and a lot of concrete
Yeah,
experiences.
through signs and symbols only, keeping in mind the
Okay.
signs and symbols. That's why flashcards are very good while talking in the classrooms or teaching in the classrooms. And when you are doing it virtually, please ask them to sit with all this stuff at home, closer to them, and then you can talk to them. Okay, you plan your lesson accordingly. That what is your final enduring understanding of that concept, and then you can ask them to get arranged everything whatever is available at home, like when we do fireless cooking, or if you're playing with beans, and for gross motor skills. And I don't need to explain, every teacher is very smart in this, but just take care that you are focusing on signs and symbols. This is how they will attach it quickly. If you're talking about a pen and you're not showing them a pen, if you're
Yeah.
talking about water or a glass, or if you're talking about Himalayas, for them it is something abstract that they don't see. So
Yeah.
just showing them the sign and symbol is very much.
Yeah. So what we are going to do, I think, in the next couple of weeks is I'm thinking of planning a session where you do stages of development and simultaneously the list of activities. So
Yes,
what happens is it becomes a concrete connection that sensorially stage we are going to do this, next stage we are going to do this. So each stage has a certain relevance,
yes,
certain amount of mindset creation that you can actually bring into the being of the child. right? So I think that is what Meenal was telling us, that if we, and there was also this lovely worksheet, like an activity sheet that Meenal has made for us. I'm going to share that, and it's a small questionnaire sheet that says the aim. So I would like you to just, I've put this out just as a small sample for everybody. Please download this after the workshop webinar, and Meenal will tell us about this. So the she's called it AIM: appreciation, inspiration, and motivation. So should I minimize this? Will you just talk about it on the
Yes.
screen?
Yeah, you can stop it. I will just explain them and I will make them understand what
Yes,
AIM
please,
stands
please.
for.
Yes.
When
So
I,
just what you want them to fill in it.
yeah, when I talk about AIM, it is about appreciation, inspiration, and motivation. And this is how, as an adult, we lack. We don't appreciate our kids. We are always comparing them. We don't inspire. We want that they should be motivated, they should be inspired, but it's our duty to do so. And how is it possible? When once we are appreciated, once when we are inspired within and we are motivated within. Okay, we are, see, I respect every human being on the planet, but we have to be really mindful that when you are dealing with this age, try to, anything they do, just clap for them, just appreciate them. So this worksheet is about that, how you have to ask the kids that whom do they appreciate most. Okay, and what about themselves they may appreciate most. Okay, we miss this. If you ask someone, Sonia ma'am, many a times the kids, even I ask adults also, they say I don't know only कि मेरे में क्या quality है, मैं क्या appreciate
You're
कर.
right. You're right. If I actually ask somebody, what do you love about yourself? I haven't really got an answer straight up front. For a minute, a person thinks and says, "Oh my God." So, Meena, you tell me, what do you love about yourself?
uh, I'm a person who is very honest, and I love to communicate with other people, and friendly. I'm very friendly.
Lovely. So, there's this beautiful song that we sing, and I think in terms of the mindset, it's beautiful. It says, "Looking into the mirror, what do you see?"
Yes.
So do you see yourself? So I see myself smiling at me. So I always tell a lot of, especially these times, Miral, are very, very difficult for the teachers. I think the kind of challenge that the teacher is going through at these times is it's amazing amount of challenge that we are throwing at a teacher, because she has to balance herself. She has to motivate herself. I don't know how many of us are really motivating teachers. She has to and she has to not only motivate herself, but has to be a very strong motivation for the parents or whoever the caregiver is. Also, another thing important at this time, which I thought we must bring up, Neenal, is there have been tremendous amount of losses in homes.
Yes. Yes.
We are seeing a very, very changed family because there have been so many losses. How will a teacher work on mindsets at a time of this kind of trouble? What is it that we can do? If you can just
Yeah. First thing,
come into your mind,
first
if you
thing, what Sonia ma'am said, I was waiting only when she will come up to the teachers, and I can share this thought process. What, maximum of us never had a dream of becoming a teacher. Okay, by default, we all landed here. I have spoken to so many people, so many teachers. I have taken the trainings, and when I ask them, they say कि मुझे तो ये बनना था, but हम ये बन गए. Okay, so now if you are the teacher, please come out from that mindset that you're forced to be here. Love your job. Fine. Now when she's saying, please get up early in the morning, 5 o'clock. That is the time where you can connect to that universe, that superpower. Being a life coach, I was educationist for 18 years, ma'am, and how it transformed when I started waking up early in the morning, 5 o'clock. Many people say, I know we all are burdened, we have a family to take care, but we have 60 to 70 kids waiting for us early in the morning. So when you are entering the class, you should be really peaceful here, not what happened at home. It is our choice that we have decided this profession. उन बच्चों की गलती नहीं है. Okay? तो जो कुछ घर पे हो रहा है या कुछ हो रहा है, प्लीज आके उन पे मत ब्लास्ट कीजिए. Don't do that. It's fundamentally wrong. Absolutely wrong. So wake
Also,
up.
yeah, because there's also pain in their own homes.
Yes.
Meena, right now, I see that even there is pain in the teacher's home,
Yes.
in the children's home. So, somewhere, like you said, one is to be ready and wake up a little bit on time and with little
Yeah.
time
And
rather than
meditation.
rush. Okay.
Meditation is very important. And when you talk about meditation, don't think the word of meditation. It's only ध्यान. सिर्फ ध्यान लगाना है कुछ थोड़े से देर के लिए. If you do that, trust me, it's miracle. आप 5 मिनट अगर ब्रीदिंग टेक्निक करके क्लास में जाएंगे, आप कंप्लीटली अवेयर हो जाएंगे उस प्रेजेंट मोमेंट के. सबके साथ ऐसा होता है. बच्चे भी डांट खा के आए, ड्रिंक योर मिल्क एंड सिट इन फ्रंट ऑफ क्लास, हैव ब्रेकफास्ट एंड सिट. Similarly, it was 5 minutes, give me breakfast. Husband is shouting, mother-in-law, kids, everybody is facing right now the same situation everywhere in the world. बट वेंस यू डू द ब्रीदिंग टेक्निक्स, ये सबको मजाक लगता है लेकिन ये न्यूरो साइंस में वेल प्रूव्ड है. आप 2 मिनट की ब्रीदिंग करके जाइए, एकदम आपकी पूरी बॉडी और माइंड काम हो जाएगा.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing. In fact, today that is the reason why I thought I must do the session live from a place where I've actually come to slow down and breathe.
Okay.
And it's a world of a difference. So sometimes, Vinal, I also say that I only would like to talk about something which I feel connected to, and I know it's working.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that it's my journey.
Yes.
How I transformed from a educationist being a life coach and mindset mentor. It works. It's a spiritual science. Ma'am, right now you're in a well, whatever you're eating, whatever vibes you're feeling there, it's absolutely true. ये मैं और आप नहीं बता सकते. जब हम खुद feel करेंगे ना सुबह 5 o'clock, it's a Robin Sharma's tool, 20-20-20. 20 minutes meditation, if you have read his book, 5 a.m., 20 minutes journaling, and 20-minute exercise. Please, as a teacher, it's your responsibility to love yourself first.
I think this is my favorite. When sometimes people used to call me to interview teachers. So they would all come with a lot of questions and everything. So I would say, can you touch your feet? Down and touch your toes. And I actually can go under a table and out of it even now. And everybody used to ask me, what is this? So I used to say that if you have to be with children, you have to have the energy and you have to have the wellness.
That is,
if you're not well, then the whole mind plays very differently. So wellness teachers, parents, your health and wellness is so important for the mindset of your own self and then for your children.
And it is about spiritual, emotional, social, psychological, and physical health, right? It has all the domains. So what, ma'am, see, we feel that it's difficult, but for a week you will feel drowsy, you will feel sleepy. But just get up and try to connect, sit and calm, love yourself, and this is true love. When you give yourself time, you exercise, you will feel full of energy whole day. People ask me, I would like to share my experience. मुझे लोग उठाने में डरते थे कि she will yeah, but now I wake up at 4:30. I do meditation, I do exercise, and I write journaling, I write my ideas. When you will do this, your kids will observe.
So the magic is about creating a healthy lifestyle and a healthy mindset. So automatically, when you are in peace, you're going to think better.
Yes.
If you think better, you're going to react better. Instead of reacting, perhaps you will respond instead of reaction.
Reacting, correct.
है ना, तो आप react ना करके respond करेंगे. And I think sometimes it's very important even for schools to understand that syllabus इस साल खत्म पूरा नहीं हो सकता.
और वो जरूरी भी नहीं है.
But creating a comfortable mindset where the child feels complete, the parent doesn't feel, oh my God, the child is going to miss out on so much. And plus, I think, at this point of time, every time I end up saying that please follow the safety norms because our mindset needs to be correct to get our children back to school. you know. So yeah, it's been a beautiful talk, and Milan, we've kept this whole evening communication as just happy communication.
Yes.
But I filled in a whole page of points from you.
Oh, so sweet of you.
So
And
I
I
write down all the points because I always feel it's a great reference for me to come back to. So for everybody watching, Minal, I would like to thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Anything that you want to tell us before you wind up, please.
Yeah.
I have a
Just one
question
thing.
for you.
Yeah. Wandering mind is always unhappy mind. Okay. So this is the most important takeaway. It's not about education, it's not about schooling, it's not about human being, it's only about you as a teacher, as a parent, as a child. Please, mindfulness practices kariye. Sit, meditate, and then see how everything outside the world, because it's our reflection. आप वेट करते हो ना ये मेरे जैसा नहीं हो रहा है, ऑटोमेटिकली सब कुछ होने लगेगा. Just
Oh,
do
that's
it.
a beautiful.
Magic mantra.
That's a beautiful life message that Meenal is giving and given us. So a week before, just before the last week, we had a yoga
Yeah.
practitioner.
Animal yoga poses for the kids.
Yeah, and no, she did all sorts of yoga, eye exercises, sthirta, just keeping them a little still. And next week we have a very interesting another young change maker who's working with the World Heritage, program at Jaipur, and
Oh,
he's going to talk to us about how just simply heritage doesn't mean buildings, and how we can actually make children understand and the wonder of
ma'am, I told you right now this only about inside.
yes.
It's about
So
culture. It's about culture is like an iceberg. It looks
yes.
small from up, but somewhere down the ocean, it's
Yes, yes,
huge.
and thank you so very much. And I've had a lovely chat with you. So looking forward to, and like to all our viewers, a lot of energy to all of us, a lot of happy mindsets. And Meenal, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And ma'am, I just want to say to all the teachers, you all
Please,
have done an amazing job last year
wonderful.
and this year also. Please have confidence and just go ahead.
All
Everything,
will be well. Yes, all
yes,
will be well. Thank
everything
you.
will be fine.
Thank
Okay.
you so
Bye
much. Thank
bye.
you,
Take
Sejal.
care.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Square, square, panda.